this is the first look at the first couple of laws of indices. So here we've got a multiplied by a, multiplied by a, multiplied by a. So we would write that as a to the power of 4, like that. Similarly, in the second question, we've got h squared. H squared means h times by h. And now I'm going to multiply that by h cubed. So I'm effectively timesing that by another 3 h's, like so. So this would now be written as h to the power of 5. So the rule is that where we've got the 2 and the 3 here, when I multiply two powers from the same base, I can add the two indices together. So 2 add 3 gives me 5. And if I'm just going to write that using a little bit of algebra, we'd say that a to the power of m times by a to the power of n equals a to the power of m plus n. So looking at the next question, 5 times 5 to the power of 4. Well, 5 on its own is like having 5 to the power of 1. So if I'm just going to do this by adding together the two powers, if I do 1 add 4 is 5, so the answer must be 5 to the power of 5. For the next question, I'm going to add the powers together as we go, so we would have 5, going to add minus 2. If we've got add minus, that's the same as just having minus. So 5 take away 2, which is 3, plus another 3, which gives us 6, and then t on its own, remember, is just the same as having t to the power of 1, so we're going to add that 1 on and we're going to get 7, so that's going to be t to the power of 7. This just takes it a little step further by introducing some integers on the front. So if we've got this out, we could write this out in longhand. So 3x squared will be made up of 3 times by x times by x. That's the 3 and that's representing the x squared. And I'm going to times that by 4. And then I've got times by x times by x times by x. So if I was going to write all this out, in there I've got 3 times by 4, which I can write out as being 12. And then I've got x times x times x times x times x, which is just x to the power of 5. So looking back on the original question, all I've done is multiply these two numbers together to get the 12, and then I've done exactly the same as before, which is adding the two powers because I've multiplied them together. So the next one, if we can just skip on, we've got 5 times 6, which will give me 30, and then we've got minus 4 add 2. If we start at minus 4 and add on 2, then that gets us back up to minus 2. So we've got 30x to the power of minus 2. At the bottom, again, we've got this situation where we've got x with no power, so I'm just going to put a little 1 on there to remind myself. 8 times by 3 is going to give me 24. And then x to the power of 1 times by x to the power of 5 will give me x to the power of 6. This one, 6 times by 4 gives me 24 again. And I'm going to add together these two powers. 5 add minus 5. Well, add minus is the same as minus. So 5 take away 5 is 0. So for now we're going to leave that as 24x to the power of 0. We'll look what happens when we've got x to the power of 0 in a couple of lessons time. Just going to have a quick look at some division ones now. Here we've got x to the power of 5, and we'll have a look at this rule. That would be written as x times by x times by x times by x times by x, and on the bottom that's just x times by x. And what we do here is we cancel these x's out, so cancel that one and that one, and cancel that one and that one. So I'd be left with, on the top, just 3 x's, so the answer is just x cubed. Now you could have worked that out by just doing 5 take away 2, which would have given us the 3. So if we just get down quickly, a little note of the algebra there. So we've got a to the power of m divided by a to the power of n will give us a to the power of m minus n. So if we look at using that in the next one, we've got p to the power of 2 divided by p to the power of 6. We're going to need 2 take away 6, which will be minus 4. The next one, I'm just going to put a little 1 on there to remind myself that f is the same as f to the power of 1. And then 1 take away 5 also gives us minus 4. So we've got f to the power of minus 4. Be careful with this next situation, always watch out for negative numbers. We've got w to the power of 3 divided by w to the power of minus 2. So it's 3 minus minus 2. And when we've got 3 minus minus 2, like that, those two there represent a plus. So it becomes 3 add 2. So here, the answer will be w to the power of 5, because 3 minus minus 2 gives us 5. In this situation, again, just like we did with multiplying, we're going to deal with the integers in front first. 10 divided by 5 will give us 2. X to the power of 4 divided by x to the power of 3, well 4 take away 3 leaves us with 1. So I'm just going to write that as 2x. And I don't need to put the 1 on there. Next one, 12 divided by 3 will give us 4. And p, I'm going to put a little 1 on just to remind myself. P to the power of 1 divided by p to the power of 4. 1 minus 4 will be minus 3. So that must be 4p to the power of minus 3. These two questions are just combining everything that we've just done. So here we'll work out the top first. We've got 9 times 4 gives me 36. And then x to the power of 4 times x to the power of 2 will be x to the power of 6. On the bottom we've still got the 12x to the power of 5. Now we can cancel these two in front. 36 divided by 12 gives us 3. And x to the power of 6 divided by x to the power of 5, what 6 take away 5 is x to the power of 1, or just 3x. Last one down here, let's deal with the top again first. Just going to put a little 1 on there to remind myself that x is the same as x to the power of 1. We'll multiply the integers first. 8 times by 3, which gives us 24. And then x to the power of 1 times x to the power of 4. 1 add 4 is 5. So we've got x to the power of 5. On the bottom, we've still got the 6x to the minus 2. If we deal again with the whole numbers on the front, 24 divided by 6 gives us 4. And x to the power of 5 divided by x to the power of minus 2. We're going to subtract, so 5 minus minus 2 is the same as adding, so we're going to get x to the power of 7.